What is it, YouTube? HPJ here, and I got you guys because we're going to be taking a look at Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc, or Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade. Pretty much, we got the Beast Fam going on here, and this is a deck that is so amazing. It's doing really well right now in a lot of variations. You got Tri-Brigade Zoo, you got Tri-Brigade beast, well, winged beast setups. You have just so many different variations of this. And the reason why this archetype is doing so well is because of its ability to help link climb by using monsters in the graveyard that are beast before your winged beast, which this archetype has a great way of sending those monsters to the graveyard to help execute that. Now, I will go over a lot of the pieces of the combos itself because the combos are very simple to understand, and it's really easy to just flat out go into a lot of things because really we're still using the whole Samorg into Avian Thunderbird loop, or you can sit there on your barrier statues. So why don't I go ahead and go through the deck itself. So 3 copies of Tri-Brigade Fractal, 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Curses, 2 copies of Nerval, and 2 copies of Kit. For the Lyrilusc, I'm running 3 copies of Turquoise Wobbler, 3 copies of Cobalt Sparrow, and 3 copies of Sapphire Swallow. Then, of course, we cannot forget about the Mist Valley. We got 1 copy of Mist Valley Apex Avian and 1 copy of Mist Valley Thunderbird. Then that's followed by the barrier statues of the Stormwind. To follow that up, I'm running 2 copies of Kinka Bayou. And then, of course, the series of hand traps. 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. 3 copies of Side-Frame Gear Gamma with V1 Side-Frame Driver. And then 3 copies of DD Crow. For the spell cards, 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Harpie's Feather Duster, 1 Foolish Burial, and 1 for 1. So that is all of the main deck cards. For the extra deck, we'll go with the Exceeds. We have 3 copies of, and I'm going to try to pronounce her name correctly. This is Lyrilusc Rexito Starling, or Racito Starling? Racito Starling? So I'm probably just going to call her Starling. Then, of course, we have the 1 copy of Divine Arsenal Double Azu Sky Thunder. For the Link Monsters, 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Shreg, the Omnis Omen, 2 copies of Samorg, Bird of Sovereignty, 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Rugal, the Silver Sheller, 1 copy of Harpie Conductor, 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Farigite, the Burden Blossom, 1 copy of Fighter Garumadal, 1 copy of Ancient Warrior's Oath, Double Dragon Lords, and 1 copy of Union Carrier. Now, that is it for all of the cards themselves. So, the main combo here, of course, goes into the Avian Thunderbird setup, thanks to Union Carrier. Pretty much your infield should be, Samorg should be on the field, with Union Carrier also attached on the board as well, with Thunderbird attached to Samorg, due to the Union Carrier's effect. Then you summon Mist Valley Apex Avian. The whole setup there is that Avian will have Thunderbird, who's a Mist Valley card, and it's on the field. So you can bounce it back to do negation, while Thunderbird itself can special summon itself from the hand when it's returned to the hand due to the effects of due to another card's effect. And it can't attack the turn special summon, but that's perfectly fine because you're just going to use it as a way to help Avian do negation. Now, and attached to that, there is the barrier statue of the Stormwind. This is a common thing for most Winged Beast decks, is to help sit on the barrier statue because it's a wind monster. It forces you and your opponent to do nothing but use wind monsters for your special summon. So your opponent pretty much has to knock this out as much as possible. I think the only real thing that can get over this is Lava Golem, or trying to find a way to destroy multiple monsters on the board, which you can't target anything that Samorg touches with because of its link markers and its ability. So yeah, you really are going to have to try to blow this up or take it down through an effect, because you cannot special summon unless you're summoning a wind monster. Now, the great thing about this is the Tri-Brigade. The Tri-Brigade are really good in any deck that is Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast. Literally the lineup for the Beast family, which is the code name people are giving it. And then you have your birds, which are your Lyrilusc. The Lyrilusc, actually, this is my first time actually playing or really being involved with the Lyrilusc. This is a really good level 1 archetype and a really good Winged Beast archetype because of how cohesive they are with their special summons. The Lyrilusc is able to special summon copies of them, summon each other from either hand or graveyard, and then also have the ability to get other level 1 Winged Beast monsters, which thankfully Nerval is. Now, Nerval, Circes, and Kit are all at 2 in this build because primarily they're only going to have the effects to really send stuff to the graveyard. Outside of Circes, who's the one who's going to, who Curses is going to be the one through the special summon, I mean the one you're going to add to your hand at the end of the turn, or 4 pieces of the turn, the other 3 are really just here to help put those cards into the grave. Now, the thing about this is that this does not waste your normal summon. None of them should waste your normal summon, because most of this deck is on special summons. You do have, um, you do have Turquoise and her ability to Cyber Dragon when you have no monsters. When most of your cards are special summoned, like your Cobalt Sparrow, she's going to help you get your other Winged Beast. Then Sapphire is going to be able to summon herself if you control a Winged Beast, which even if you control the Nerval or the Avian, bam, there you go. You got a free special summon without using your normal summon. And this is also a good key way to help you, the player, get through things like Nibiru, because Nibiru is still a thing, even if it's in the side. This deck can easily get hurt by Nibiru, and there are a lot of those additional sport cards that help you get out of it, and the Lyrilusc just happen to have a lot of those, ready and go. Another card to help you out of that is this guy. This is Kinkabayu, or Kinkabio, which some people pronounce. I pronounce it Kinkabayo. What Kinka does is that when it's normal or flipped face up, you can special summon a level 1 monster from your graveyard to the field. But it's banished when this card leaves the field. Now, what you're supposed to do at that point is notice the monster's effects is not negated. The monster just comes to the board due to this monster's effect when it's split face up or when it is normal summon. Now, with that in mind, notice a lot of majority of these monsters are winged, are level 1. So you do get that advantage of having a level 1 monster in a level 1 toolbox, thanks to King Caballo. And this is only pretty much supposed to be your only normal summon that you're supposed to do. Because it's only literally your only normal summon in the deck. Because everything else is basically a nice big special summon. Unless you want to summon the barrier statue. But even in, like, this is a combo oriented deck, and Kikabayu is there to help you with combos in case something goes wrong. While we are on that subject of combos and stuff, you have your combo breakers for your opponent. You have your Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, you have your DD Crow, and of course your Cypher and Gamma. If you don't want to run Cypher and Gamma, you can just swap out the 4 of them. You can drop in your Skullmeisters and your Ghost Bellas and Haunted Mansion, because those are really good cards in a lot of cases for a lot of decks and really good hand traps. You notice that a lot of the older hand traps are now starting to get used because a lot of things are going on with a lot of decks. And I mean, that just means good cards can easily get reprinted and cards can get very, very useful and expensive. So, yeah. So if you don't want to run out with the Gammas, you can just go ahead and throw in your Ghost Bell and your Skullmeisters. Now, for the spell cards, 3 copies of Chenki. This is just a search for Fractal. So that way you don't have to, it's that whole climbing up for your combos. Then you have the Foolish Burial to help you out there as well. To send some of the other monsters to the graveyard. You can send Kit with this, and then she can send Nerval, and then Nerval can go get Crisis. Then you have 1 for 1 to help you get your Lyrilusc onto the board without wasting your normal summon, or you can even throw Nerval onto the field, and then play around with Sapphire Swallow. Then we have Harpie Feather Duster for monster removal, and then we have an extender in the form of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn was kind of one of those things that I added in at the last minute, and then I think honestly it's not a bad thing because this deck is combo oriented and it needs as much extenders as possible. So why not run in Monster Reborn, because it's a really good 1 card extender. Now, going on from there, let's talk about this extra deck. So the Starlings are really just here as an exceed option. You don't have to run the Starlings. You can just spam nothing but exceed monsters. But this does attach material to herself. So that does help there. And then she also makes battle damage that would involve her while she was synchro summoned to your opponent. So yeah, this is not too bad of a card to sit on with some level ones. The other thing is it's here to help make Sky Thunder. Because when all else fails, you Sky Thunder and then you blow up the board. I mean, at least that way you can have the protection and defense there. You can also attach other material to him, and then that can trigger stuff like Kit or Nerval when they're sent to the graveyard. You can then add curses to your hand. Then we got all these nice Tri-Brigade extra deck monsters. You got this Omen to help you banish cards, and then he can summon other monsters based on the number of banished monsters you have. Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast monsters that you have. You have Ferjit, who can give you the additional summon of a level 4 lower Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monster from your hand. While in addition to that, she can also draw a card for you, and then place a card on the bottom of your deck when she sends you to the graveyard. You have Rugal, the Silver Sheller. This is just another extender to get a level 4 lower monster onto the board. It won't have its effects, but it's returned to the hand during the end phase. So this is actually not too bad to get back some of your other pieces. Also, we have one Harpie Conductor, and Conductor is really just here for the extensions. Because all her material are wind, you can easily just use wind monsters to play her and not restricted to Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast, which it's not bad there. She's just pretty much here to help you go into some work because some work needs at least one Winged Beast monster. And the way the engine works, you can at least drop her onto the board. You can probably take her out if that's not a thing. And I'm not running Featherstorm, which could be a side option just for the factor of most of these monsters in the deck are Winged Beasts. Then we got the one copy of the Doll to pop back row, and also retrieve a lot of your banished Beast Warrior, Winged Beast, or those in the graveyard, and add them to your hand. This is kind of one of those little things where if you were running out of room to play something, you can easily just throw it in. Same thing with the Ancient Warrior's Oath. Ancient Warrior is just here through the quick summon of the effects of the Tri-Brigade, but you can also bounce stuff once per turn by discarding and sending the card from your hand or field to the grave, which can trigger off other cards' effects. And I think that's pretty much about it, because I've talked about everyone else through the whole explanation of the Samori Avion loop. So, that pretty much just wraps it up here. So, I'm going to leave it to you guys. I want to say thank you to everyone who is supporting the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching as well. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and leave and of course, hit the notification bell when you guys want to be informed of when I do upload more content. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to interact with me even more, the social media links are in the description box below. So, I will catch you all next time, and HTJ signing out. Take care.